go ahead, and we got the agenda here, Jerry, if you want to.
I would like to make ask for a motion to make acceptance of the agenda. Is there a second? All in favor of it, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Now I'd like to put in a motion, everybody should have a copy of the minutes from the April 10th, 2012. Yeah, I'd like you to take a few minutes to look it over, if there's any corrections or additions or oppositions to the minutes.
Just one point at the very back, I would like to point out, last year we did set this meeting for April 9th, but we had to move that because of the elections. The state required us to move the elections. So this was correct as of last year, just to let you know that's how we did it.
If there isn't any other corrections or additions, I'd like to somebody to make a motion to accept the minutes.
I so move.
Clip. And second, Clip.
Second.
John. If everybody agrees, I'd like to have a showing of the hands for acceptance. Thank you. If anybody's opposed, motion carries. And now we start, right? I'd like to call on the clerk to read the report for the Road and Bridge Fund, please.
Again, everyone should have a copy that's in front of you. I'll go ahead and read through the numbers. This is for the fiscal year. The financial statement of the Road and Bridge Fund showed funds on hand at the beginning of the fiscal year of $222,863.66. The amount received from all sources was $109,580.90. The amount expended for all purposes was $55,394.56. Funds on hand at the end of the fiscal year, $277,050.
Do we have to do each one individually?
Move on to the financial statement of the Hard Road Fund. It showed that we had funds on hand at the beginning of the fiscal year of $94,077.80. The amount received from all sources, $150,331.31. The amount expended for all purposes was $131,146.96. Funds on hand at the end of the fiscal year, $113,262.15. We'll move on to the Equipment and Building Fund. The financial statement of the Equipment and Building Fund showed funds on hand at the beginning of the fiscal year of $111,780.94. The amount received from all sources, $30,330.93. The amount expended for all purposes, $2,276.00. Funds on hand at the end of the fiscal year, $139,835.87. Move on to the Town Fund. Financial statement of the Town Fund showed funds on hand at the beginning of the fiscal year of $89,412.65. The amount received from all sources, $106,406.85. The amount expended for all purposes, $103,240.12. Funds on hand at the end of the fiscal year, $92,579.38. And lastly, the General Assistance Fund. The financial statement of the General Assistance Fund showed funds on hand at the beginning of the fiscal year of $6,085.81. The amount received from all sources, $2.97. The amount expended for all purposes, $0. Funds on hand at the end of the fiscal year, $6,088.78.
I'd like to have a motion to accept the financial reports listed as above.
So moved.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. I'd like to know if there's any old business. If not, I'd like to know if there's any new business. Nobody wants to talk? Okay, now we're gonna go into the selection of the auditing committee. I'd like to have a nomination of the names to be put in for the auditing committee. John?
I'd like to nominate Russell Cook.
Maybe somebody else?
I nominate with Micus.
That's all.
What do you want?
I nominate Jerry Wicker.
If that's all, we'd like to close that part of it. I'd like to have a motion to accept the nominations.
I'll make a motion to accept the nominations.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Moore?
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. It's the second motion. Now we have to have a motion to accept it. I'd like to put in front of you a motion to accept the time for the next town meeting of April 8, 2014,
That'll be the annual meeting.
our annual meeting. I'd like to have a motion to accept that date. Mr. Morgan, you need a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Now I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Mr. Morgan. Need a second?
I'll second.
Oh, Randy, what, last one second? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Thank you for attending the meeting. Again, there are some handouts up here if you want to make sure you get those. Appreciate your time and attendance here at today's meeting. We will be, I do need the 3 auditing members to come on up. We'll get you set up into the office and go ahead and get that business going. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Sandy, don't let that car steer them wrong now.